Hello everyone. Today we are going to read through a very beautiful poem, Blind Louise, written by George Washington Dewey. This poem talks about courage, about hope, about not giving up. Even if you are in your adverse situation, do not give up. So this poem is illustrating this lady who did not give up. She accepted the harsh reality of life and faced those adverse situations with a lot of courage. She did not let her handicap affect her spirit. So it talks about this lady who you can see in the picture is very happily sitting on that green bench in that luscious garden which is full of those beautiful flowers here and there. There is a butterfly. As you can see, there are two butterflies in the picture, and the sun is shining very beautifully, and as those rays are falling upon her, she seems to be very happy. Her face seems to be of hope. She has some hope in her life. She doesn't seem sad. And what is the tragedy with her? What was the adverse situation? That she would gradually lose her eyesight. Gradually she would become blind. So before losing her sight, she had just one simple wish. And what was that? To see spring. To not have that dark memory of the world before she loses her eyes. She wanted to have that lovely memory of the world being colorful, lush, and greenery of spring and summer. She wanted that to be in her heart. She wanted to be it the last memory. But was she able to achieve that? Was her wish fulfilled? Let's explore in the poem. So, what do you mean by courage? What do you understand by courage? Is it only displayed in the battlefield? Is it only displayed by soldiers? Or is it also about the willingness, the desire to face any adversity, any obstacle with quiet acceptance and living one's life with dignity? Is it only about fighting in the battlefield, just fighting of the war and winning and losing? Is courage only about this? Or is it about accepting your situations, accepting the unfortunate things which are happening with you, and not letting up the hope go away from your heart? Not letting up that willingness to live life with dignity go away from you. So this poem is about the woman who is teaching us to have such strength in your own life, to not give up, and you need to be courageous. Okay? Let's begin. Read the whole poem and just see what is the mood of the poem. Okay? She knew that she was growing blind, foresaw the dreary night that soon would fall without a star upon her fading sight. Yet never did she make complaint, but prayed each day might bring a beauty to her waning eyes, the loveliness of spring. She dreaded that eclipse which might perpetually enclose sad memories of a leafless world, a spectral realm of snows. She would rather that the verdure left an evergreen to shine within her heart as summer leaves its memory on the pine. She had her wish, for when the sun overhung his eastern towers and shed his benediction on a world of Maytime flowers. We found her seated as of old in her accustomed place, a midnight in her sightless eyes, and morn upon her face. So after reading this, I hope you can understand how much hope there is in this poem. It speaks about courage. It speaks about not giving up, no matter what the situation is. Okay? So let's begin with the explanation. She knew that she was growing blind, foresaw the dreary night that soon would fall without a star upon her fading sight. So this lady, this woman, she already knew that she was growing blind. Eventually and gradually, she would become sightless. She would lose her eyesight. She could foresee it. That means she could already predict the dreary night. Dreary night, the dull night. Dreary means dull. She could already foresee the dreary night. That means the dreary night has been used as a metaphor for her world, which would soon become dull, which would soon be filled up with darkness. There would be no shine in it. Why there wouldn't be any shine? As she would become sightless. So here the poet, when he says dreary night, he has used this as a metaphor where he's trying to say that her world would be dull. As if you look in the sky at night and if there are no stars, how would you feel? The sky would look dull. It wouldn't have any shine in it. So likewise, her world would become once she becomes blind. So she could foresee the dreary night that soon would fall without a star upon her fading sight. That means she could already foretell, she could already predict that she would one day become ill, she would soon become blind, and that night will come without a star. That means without any shine. She would not be able to see that sky which was full of shine. And it is soon going to come upon her fading sight. That means as her sight is fading away, it's reducing, it's going away, she is becoming sightless. Okay, so in the first paragraph, the woman here is trying to say that she could foretell already, she could predict it already, that she is going to become blind and how her world is going to be surrounded by darkness. There would be no shine in it. Okay, in the second paragraph, the poet says, yet never did she make complaint, but prayed each day might bring a beauty to her waning eyes, the loveliness of spring. But she never made a complaint about it. She never cribbed about it. She never complained that, oh, I'm going to become blind. I want to do this. I want to do that. What will I do with my life? How will I live without my eyes? She never complained. But instead of complaining, what did she do? She prayed each day that it might bring the beauty to her waning eyes. What's waning? Let's see the meaning. Decreasing gradually in strength. She prayed each day might bring a beauty to her waning eyes, the loveliness of spring. She prayed each day that before she goes completely blind, she wanted to see spring. She wanted to have the image of a colorful world in her eyes. In her memory, she didn't want that fade and dull world of autumn season. She wanted to have a memory of a colorful world. So she was praying for it each day, that it might bring beauty to her eyes. The last memory which she wanted in her heart was of the spring season, the warm summer and the colorful spring season. Okay, I hope you have understood the introduction along with the first two paragraphs. Okay, go through the video again so that you're able to understand what the poet here is trying to say. Okay, a beautiful poem, and we'll continue in the next video.